everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from the 41st millennium, and we are back. Yes, we are so back with chaos. Even more chaos. I bet you didn't think it would happen so soon, but we are here. And we are painting up the all-new Kravek Morne, the new Iron Warriors Warsmith that Games Workshop very kindly sent to me early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So, without further ado, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting him. Now, it's a bit, I'm calling it a Contrast Plus painting tutorial because that's what we call all of our painting tutorials, but the vast majority of Kravek Morne is obviously going to be silver, and well, the colour we're going to be using first over the top of our grey Seer primed model is some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the silver details, and this is just going to be everything on the model that is silver, and there is tons and tons of silver. Now the thing to bear in mind here is that we do actually want to just avoid applying this over the top of a couple of areas. This is going to be anywhere where we've got that sort of yellow and black highlight hazard striping. Naturally, we're going to avoid applying this over the top of his face as well, but otherwise, you're pretty much good to apply this everywhere else. So I recommend having the box art open in front of you to know where all the silver is, and go hunting for those bits that aren't silver. So with all of that Iron Warriors applied, as I've mentioned, there's a lot of silver. What we're going to do next is we're going to take some black Templar. I'm going to pick out the black armor panels with this over the top of the silver. So this is the under shoulders, like this, the hip plates, the bum plates, and this lower thing with the bonding studs, and the shoulder with the bonding studs as well. So with that all done, we're then going to shade the rest of the silver using some Targor Rageshade. So with that all done, we're now going to use some Imperial Fist. We're going to use some Imperial Fist. And we're going to apply this over the top of all of the bits that are going to be the yellow hazard striping. So this is going to be this shoulder, the remaining leg, and casing of this servo arm. Next up, we're going to take some Black Legion, and we're going to apply this over the top of the gaps in the armor. So for example, back here on the legs, so little soft joints, like so. But what we're also going to do with this Black Legion is we're going to apply this over the top of the grip of the hammer, the casing of the flamer, and the ribbed cables scattered about. Next up, we're going to take some thinned down Castellax Bronze, and we're going to apply this over the top of the tabard and the hanging bits off the pauldrons. Next up, we're going to shade all of our yellow using some Casandora Yellow. with that all done, we then use some dreadful Visage. I'm going to use this over top of Kravek Morne's face. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass, and we're going to apply this over the top of all the trim. So with that all done, before we kind of go any further, we do need to do the hazard striping on our yellow. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion and we're going to start, well, blocking this in. Now the trick here is to not try and do the whole stripe at once, but rather to draw the two lines either side of it. So we're just going to start with this really small one that starts just down here, and we're going to draw a little line with our Black Legion, like so. I'm going to go next to it and draw another little line, just like that sort of thing. And then we're going to block in that kind of stripe. Like that sort of thing. And we're just going to keep an eye on our box art here, because it's a pretty good guide on where to go. So the next one starts just under this bit of trim and comes down to around about here. And that's kind of it. So we're just going to go across the 3 yellow panels doing this. And then once that's all done, we'll come back. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Yriel Yellow. I'm going to use this just to mop up any mistakes and straighten out any lines on the yellow. And then once you've got some nice and straight hazard stripes, if you want to, what you can do is take a little bit of Black Legion once again, and then over little areas just add tiny little scrapes and nicks in the paint with the Black Legion. Like that sort of thing. So with that all done, we are now done with fiddly stuff. So what we're going to do is going to go back to some shading, and we're going to use some Carroburg Crimson to shade the Castellax Bronze. Next up, we're going to use some Gryph-Hound Orange. I'm going to apply this over the top of any copper wiring, which is all this kind of bunched up stuff. And with that all done, we've actually got one area we forgot to paint, which is all of the remaining kind of smooth cabling scattered around with some Flesh Tearers red. So for example, this little cable back here. There's not a lot of it, but there is some. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to use this to shade all the brass, and we're going to pop this over the top of the Gryph-Hound Orange as well. So with that all done, Kravek Morne is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave him there, no. We're taking the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. And the first of these is going to be a layer. And it's going to be some thinned down Leadbelcher. And we're going to be using this to do, well, a layer and a highlight. So, we're going to be using this Leadbelcher to relayer the most prominent armor panels. This is going to be things like the chest, the knees, and so on and so forth. If you check out the box art, you can see where there's kind of this much brighter silver going on across the models. But the other thing we're going to be doing with the Leadbelcher is we're going to be using this to highlight the black armor. So it's going to be the hip plates, those undershoulders, the belt buckle, and his bottom. So with that Leadbelcher all applied, we're now going to highlight all of the silver, but not those black armor panels, with some thinned down Ironbreaker. With all of that Ironbreaker applied, it's looking considerably much further along. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass. I'm going to use this to pick up these interconnecting bars in our hanging stuff that we did with Castellax Bronze. Next up, we're going to use a teensy little bit of Fulgurite Copper. I'm going to use this to highlight our, well, copper wiring. And with all that Fulgurite Copper applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Canoptek Alloy. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our brass. And with all that Canoptek Alloy applied, we're now going to move on to something that is non-metallic. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Pallid Witch Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight his face. And with that Pallid Witch Flesh all applied, we then take a teensy tiny little bit of Black Legion and we apply this over top of his eyeball. And with that Black Legion all applied, we then want to take the teensiest, tiniest little dot of Screaming Skull. We're going to apply this in the corners of the eye. With the face now complete, we're going to take a little bit of Flesh Tearer's Red. We're going to apply this over the 3 little lenses that he's got. He's got 1 over his eye and 2 over his head. And with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Thunderhawk Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight our black details. And with all that Thunderhawk Blue applied, we're now going to finish off Kravek Morne by taking some thinned down Fenrisian Grey. I'm going to use this just to add a couple of little tiny spot highlights. Not like that, it's a bit big. There we go. I'm going to add some tiny spot highlights to the sharpest points in all that black. And there we have it. With the base now complete, Kravek Morne is now finished. Ready to besiege some stuff, I guess. I really like this model. I think it's very, very brutish, as you would kind of expect from an Iron Warriors model. And, well, it's nice to see a named Warsmith as well, which is cool. Maybe a herald of things to come for the Iron Warriors fans out there. Who can say? Who can say? If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.